Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Boop, boop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is having had a great day and is having a wonderful week. Finally, it's me, Debsy, and guess what I did? Well, today I watched The Bachelorette. I made old-fashioned notes on paper, and we're gonna finally discuss it. This was hometown week. So she went to 4 hometowns with Devin, Jeremy, Jonathan, and Marcus. I found a theme this week, and I believe that the theme for this week with the men was you just gotta let your guard down. I can't let my guard down, but you gotta let your guard down. So let's get into it. And they did let their guard down. Also, it was the return of the fuzzy shawl. Where have you been, fuzzy shawl? Okay, so we started off Devin in Houston. The other thing I noticed this week that exercise. To these people, exercise is a date. We started off with Devin in Houston. He's like, we're gonna meet some friends. She's like, cool, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go to a party, we're gonna go to a restaurant. What are we gonna do? It's a picnic in the park? We're in the park? No, it's his running club. These are people that he runs with. So they show up, all of them in these shirts that have like her head and his head and hearts and okay, so they go running. Do you see? There's nothing else for me to do, because what can you do? You can't talk. Like, you can't be like in the middle of running and be like, so intimacy, what are you feeling like? I mean, are you sweating too? Yeah, I'm sweat. Like, what can you talk about in the middle of like in the middle of everybody without, because if I'm going to tell you what, well, first of all, I would never be in there, because the last time I ran, I was probably single digits. I'm 56. Last time I ran, I was probably in diapers, or I was in like the 5th grade. I'm not a runner. But if I was one of those people, if I was a runner and I was there, they'd be like chalking over their issues. I'd just be like, okay, can you talk a little louder? A little louder here? What? Are you running? No. So I don't know. So a date for them is running. So they bid adieu to the running club. The running club, if I was a member of that running club, I'd be like, first of all, I didn't even get on TV that much. Second of all, we didn't really get any exercise. We were just running slowly with these people. The best part of that whole thing was they got to meet his dog. His dog is adorable. So off camera, he has some reservations. He's like, he loves her, but he isn't gonna tell her this because, listen, what if he says it and then she goes and she says it to another one of the guys? So he needs to figure stuff out. Listen, everybody, including Jen on this episode, needs to get clarity. I really thought that they had gotten clarity to like be at hometowns. That's what I thought. Okay, so they go in to meet the family. She's going to meet his mom, his dad, Timu, her stepdad, Todd, the grandparents, and the brother walk in, and they talk. This is one of 2 guys also that they talk about like what they did on a date. And he's like, oh yeah, we had to do the Thunder Down. I don't know what's going on with this hair now. We had to do the Thunder Down Under, and I hate to tell you, Grandma, Meemaw and Peepaw, but guess what? I was ass cheeks in the wind and G-string. Like, he was like, If anybody has seen Talladega Nights, I was like Mike Honcho. Please, if you got that reference to Talladega Nights, please put it in the comments that you understand, because Mike Honcho, he was like, I put on the least clothes that I could. I was Mike Honcho. I was like cheeks to the wind. Why would you say that in front of your parents and your grandparents? So they're talking. The mom goes and talks with Jen, and she's like, Are you falling? And she says that he told her that he was falling before she told him. She says, I can see a future with him. So then the mom is talking to Devin. He's like, listen, I felt things that I have never felt for another woman. But what's worrying me is the other guys. Like, once again, I love her, but what if she also loves all these other guys? She's like, the mother's like, listen, don't hold back or you might get left behind. So step up and you better say something. So they meet afterwards. Here's another thing I noticed. When they leave the house, everybody has a convenient, like, bench there. Do all these people really have benches, or does ABC just come and put these benches there? I'm feeling like ABC just puts the benches there. Like, I've never seen so many people have just a bench in their front lawn. So I don't know. But anyways, he's like, fuck it. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I love you. He's like, I love you. She's like, I am falling in love with you. Okay. So everything's cool with Devin. I think he's definitely going to be getting, at that point, I'm like, he is definitely getting a rose. Okay. So next up is Jeremy. Jeremy is in Fairfield, Connecticut. This is what I'm talking about when I say two of the four meet in like the oddest, shadiest, skeeviest areas that you would meet. Because Jen meets Jeremy like in a clearing in the woods. It looks like it could be the setting for like a Netflix crime documentary of like, like, you could just cue Keith Morrison, is that his name, from Dateline, where he'd be like, and when the search party got to the lake, they found something they didn't bank on. Get it? Because it's on the bank of the river. Like, and she was even like, he's like, do you know why I got you, why I called you here? She's like, to murder me? I don't know. It makes total sense. She's like, did you bring me here to kill me? Makes sense. Makes perfect sense in that setting. He's like, no, we're going shopping. And she was like, oh, shopping. In my mind, I would have been like, and I would have said out loud, I would have said in my mind, and it would came out of my mouth, I would have said, shopping in the woods? Are you crazy? What kind of shopping? Are you going to kill me? But hear me out. So they're like, they go grocery shopping. I'm going to tell you what, this whole thing felt like a fever dream. Like, they go in, they're singing, dancing, avocados. There's milk containers, dancing. There's a cow running around, like a person in a cow outfit. And then eventually they just start, then they work there. Like, they're eating donuts or having ice cream and eating like popcorn. And then they're ringing things out. Then she's ringing customers out, and he's bagging. What is this? How is this a date? Do these people need to realize, out of all four of these people, ain't none of these people had a date? Because going to a grocery store, guaranteed that when they were there dancing with the avocados, there was somebody who was like, listen, can you get out of my way? I got stuff I need to do. I don't have time for this foolishness, honestly. And then there was the one guy whose face I noticed, was like, he was just shopping. His face was blurred out. He was like, listen, I really shouldn't even be here. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy today. I didn't feel like getting it done. Now I'm caught here. Forget it. Blur my face out. Let's get this shit moving. So I don't understand that. They go shopping and then they're working. I don't know how that's a date. So they're working and then they're Lady in the Tramping like a lobster roll with butter falling all. Who Lady in the Tramps a lobster roll? So there's melted butter going everywhere, and then we're supposed to believe that his aunt just happens to show up at that moment where Jen has like a beard full of butter on her face. So yeah, that was odd. That whole thing, I'm gonna tell you, from start to finish of that day, I was like, this is Friends. This is completely giving me Friends. And she had even said off camera, she's like, I need to make sure this is a lot of fun, but I need to make sure that there's more than just that there's more than just fun. There's more than just friends and fun. But once again, I thought she had gotten that assurance last week because she picked him to go to hometowns. I really thought she got that answer. So she goes to their house. She meets his mom. He said she'll be meeting my mom, her husband. So obviously this is maybe like a stepfather. I thought that was odd that he was like my mom, her husband, and then the sister, the older sister, the fiance, and then the younger sister. I believe that's who she's meeting. Okay. So they walk in and they're recapping like how they met. Like, how did you meet? So once again, the oversharing is amazing because he's like, when I got out of my fancy car that I brought, I said I was overcompensating. She was like, you're overcompensating? I was like, no, not really, because I got a big dick and a big burp. We all know that he didn't say wiener. I got a big, Richard. And now listen, if I can, I'm going to throw up a picture of the sister somewhere in here if I can. If I can't, go out and look at it because it was like, oh, you did not say that. Like, why are you going to say that you said that in front of everyone? That sister's face, that sister, I'm telling you. So the mom immediately, the mother in my mind immediately was like, nope. This isn't going to work out. I can see this is not going to work out. She's like, they're cute. They were real cute together. But when Jen was announced as the Bachelorette and she was saying like what she's looking for in a man, that's not Jeremy. That's not what Jeremy is. Sorry. The sister grilled her a little bit. And she was asking like, why do you think Jeremy is the right one? And she says, because it's fun. We have a lot of fun. There's fun. But then Jen also says that they haven't said really what they want in a future. It's just all fun. And then Jen asks his sister if he's ready for what comes in the future. Once again, Jen asks the sister, tell me, do you think he's ready? How about if you just ask him? And the sister was like, no. Oh, okay. Listen, I felt like it was his whole family trying to tell Jeremy, you might want to move on. You might want to move on. And his mother, listen, his mother is not wrong. I mean, it's really cool to have fun, but there needs to be more. That's just it. And then I have written here, don't make his mom do your job. Because once again, she's asked, do you think Jeremy is ready? Listen, you need to figure that out, because he's not going to be dating his mom. He's not going to be dating his sister. He's going to be dating you. You got to figure this out. You got to ask those damn questions. I thought she had already asked these questions. So listen, she then asks him, the mom, I believe it's the mom that asks him if he's ready. Nope. I have that all wrong. She, meaning Jen, asks him, meaning Jeremy, if he's ready for the future. He just says the magic words. He's like, I'm falling for you. And so that's it. But listen, I'm saying nope. I have written in big capital letters, nope. He's going to be the one gone. I'm telling you right now. Okay. Date number 3 is Jonathan in San Diego. Once again, here's another one. He was like, we both play lacrosse in college. I thought it would be fun to play lacrosse. It's a date. It's exercising. Nope. That's not a date. And once again, she needs him to open up. That's how it is with every one of these guys. They need to open up. I would have thought that they would have opened up before now for them to actually get there. So, listen, the exercising, I will never get that. I just don't. Also, my mother's talking in the other room, and I'm like, what am I hearing about this? Okay. I'm a neb. So I have a note here. So in his last relationship, he was lied to for 4 years, and he has issues with opening up. It's tough to open up. If that's the case, and the same thing goes with Marcus, if you have trouble with opening up and you have trust issues, why would you go on a dating program where you're dating a person who is then dating 25 other men? That makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. Now she's worried. And she's worried that he hasn't opened up. Once again, I thought they did that, and that's why they're here. So she's going to be meeting his mom, his dad, his brother and sister-in-law, and his sister. He is seeking clarity. He needs to get clarity from his parents. So that makes me think he's not completely sold either. He's not 100%. I'm definitely falling. And so his brother and sister-in-law, they met on Tinder. They were together for a very short time and then got married. So they know all about like falling quickly and getting married quickly. Jen is talking to his mother, and listen, she surely was quick to say that she was falling for the other men. Very quick to that, but as soon as she said they're on the cusp, I feel like that's when, not talking to his mother, talking to his brother. But as soon as she said that we're on the cusp, me and your brother are on the cusp of falling, I feel like that's when his brother was like, uh-oh. I don't know if there might have to be another red flag going up. I feel like his mother is totally not against it working out, but it's going to have to take a lot of work on both their parts. His sister, to me, is the only one who seems like she's totally on board with this. He's wondering if, like, is the Jen that is being presented now, like the real person, the real Jen, or just what she wants me to see? Is this just TV Jen? His mother says that she does see him with her, but listen, you got to go all in. Otherwise, if you don't, one day you're going to be sitting around and you're going to think, what if? Like, what if I would have went all in? Could things have been differently? So they're sitting out once again on the bench afterward. They're talking, and he says he's fallen in love with her. And she says the same for him. And honestly, I feel like he might be the best fit for her. I don't know. I really like Jonathan. Okay, so on the last date, it was Marcus. They are in Tacoma, Washington. Once again, what's with all this meeting? They met down by the train tracks. Like, she literally walked past train tracks, and then they sat on a bench that maybe it looks like it's used by kids to either, like, I don't know, like, do illicit, illegal things, is all I'm saying. It looked like a skeevy part of town. Once again, she could be murdered there. With him, she's worried that she's farther along than he is. So there's no day date. It's just they're sitting on a bench by not a river, but the train tracks and a little lake. And is it a river? I don't know. It didn't look the greatest. There was no date. So they are going to be meeting his little sister, who's like the most important person to him. His adopted parents will not be there, but Scott and Sue are like mentors to him who have become friends. And then there's a bunch of other friends. I'm going to tell you, the one friend, thank God they didn't show this friend a lot, because he was giving me, I just got to where's the cameras? I got to act as loud and obnoxious as possible. And that's Ethan. I was like, less screen time for Ethan, please. No, I was not a fan. And as soon as I saw that he was not featured a lot, I was like, okay, well, this is getting better. Marcus is talking with Scott, I believe, and he says that he's stuck in between liking and loving, and he's not falling yet. Like, he seems the one out of all four of them that's like the least sure. He seems kind of unsure. He's saying he needs clarity also. Like, all of these men need clarity. Jen again says like she has no idea of how he feels, despite them talking shit out last week. The question to her was, do you love him? She didn't say she loves him. She said, I can see myself in love with him. His little sister, she feels like Jen's heart is pure and she has good intentions. She likes Jen, but Marcus thinks it's going like way too fast for him to say he loves her. So afterwards, he says she loved his family. She's like, I could see myself fitting in with them any day of the week. And he finally says that he's falling for her. Now, I don't know if I believe that though. Like, I don't know if I feel like he's saying it because maybe he thinks others are saying it, is what I think. I don't know that I buy it from him. Okay, so all of the men, right before the rose ceremony, all of the men get together. They get together at a bar for some beers right before the rose ceremony. It's ironic that Jeremy was like, so who's going to be going home? Who's the one that's going to be leaving? I don't know if I would get so cocky with the Jeremy. I think you are. I think it's going to be you. And so everybody's talking about how great their dates were. And the only one's not talking was Marcus. And then he says off camera that he feels like he's behind the others. And he tells them that he feels like he got some clarity from the date, but not all of his questions were answered. He has some reservations. And then off camera, he's like, he feels like he's behind where the others are at. And he feels almost like a shame that he's not where the others are. And he's asking, what's wrong with me? And that Jen deserves to have men here who are certain. So in my mind, I was like, well, if she offers you a rose, then are you going to be like, no, I can't take it because I'm not as certain as others are. I don't think he's going to say that. But here's the thing. If he, in my opinion, he shouldn't have applied because he's not fully past what had happened to him. He's not ready. He shouldn't have applied to be on this show. He should just done normal dating like everybody else does and not applied to be on the show. Okay, so the rose ceremony, everybody meets up. Jeremy once again with the cracks. He's like, it's a good night for heartbreak. I wouldn't start, Jeremy. I think you're going home. Okay, so I picked it right. Number 1 was Devin. Okay, here's where I was surprised. I thought number 2 was going to be Marcus. Number 2 was Jonathan. So it came down to Marcus and Jeremy. I called it correctly. I said Marcus. Marcus was picked 3rd. Jeremy goes home. Before Jeremy goes home, he lets her know, listen, I wish it was me and you. However, you got great guys in there. I'm not worried any one of them will take care of you. He also tells her that, listen, I was on the same page as you. So that makes her think, are all of these other men on the same page as me? Did I make a mistake? Now listen, next week, it's going to be Monday and Tuesday. Monday is going to be the fantasy suites. Tuesday is going to be the men tell all. I had gotten a spoiler on who's going to be at which of these 3 men are going to be there. I'm not going to tell anybody who it is. But listen, next week when they show these people talking, it looks like none of these men are ready for, a proposal to get down on one knee and propose to her. That's what it looks like. And she comes out and she's like saying to Marcus, I love you. And he's like, I'm not there yet. Are you kidding me? I'm going to tell you right now, if I was her, I would say, you can get your fucking ass up and skedaddle the shit right on out here. Skedaddle the shit right on out. That's what I would say. You had plenty of time. You could have come up to me and said something like, I don't feel it, instead of getting these free vacations. Okay, so listen, tell me in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. If nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put hope, kindness, compassion, acceptance, love, all that good stuff out there so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your surroundings. Stay safe. If you're somewhere where it's extremely hot, hydrate often with water. And if you're in any kind of situation, weather-wise, please be smart, be safe. Even if it's not weather-wise, please be smart, be safe. I love you guys. And I may or may not see you tomorrow. I will probably see you on Friday with a recap of Claim to Fame. So I will see you guys. And I'm going to try my hardest to get something up for Motivational Mornings. Gonna try, not 100%. So, okay. I will see you guys. Bye, guys.